The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. This is a continuation of Lesson 92, in which all the characters are based on the depiction of a person standing with feet planted firmly on the ground. Pronounced fourth tone, li, li. In the first installment, Lesson 92, li served as the obvious phonetic in all the characters. In this second and final part, only one character takes li as its phonetic element. Our first character is composed of li plus the person, 人 radical, which was added over 2,500 years ago to indicate the position where a person was standing, as opposed to simply standing upright. Its meaning then is position, rank, or location, and it's pronounced fourth tone, wei, wei. Given that wei means rank or social standing, it came to be used as a polite measure word for people, more respectful than ge or ming that we've been using up to now. If someone is knocking at your door, you might ask this question: 您找哪一位? Who is it you're looking for? Or, who did you wish to see? Although everyone has a cell phone today, here's a polite phrase if you still have a landline telephone used by several people, such as in an office. 请问您是哪一位? May I ask who's calling? Or, who shall I say is calling, please? The phrases 哪一个 or 哪一名 simply will not work here. If you're waiting in a line somewhere, you might hear this: 下一位 Next. 我们下一位的滑雪者千里迢迢从德国来. Our next skier comes all the way from Germany. On entering a restaurant, you'll often hear this phrase: 你们几位? How many of you are there? To which you might answer: 一位, 两位, 三位, etc. 今天我们家要来几位朋友. We have some friends coming to see us today. 几个朋友 would be okay here, since you're talking about your friends, not to them. 我要介绍的这几位，大家一定会知道名字. All of you will definitely know the names of the people I'm about to introduce. When addressing an audience or group of people, 诸位 is the appropriate way to say ladies and gentlemen, or simply you in the plural. 今天我要跟诸位分享我的理想. Today I want to share with you what would be my ideal. 真相是诸位无法从书本上了解到. It's impossible for you to learn the truth from books. 今后世界的一切都是你们诸位毕业生的. From this day forward, everything in this world belongs to you, new graduates. 我在等待诸位的问题或者不一样的看法. I anticipate you will have questions or opinions different from mine. 我相信诸位都知道我要介绍的下一位明星. I believe all of you know the next celebrity I'm going to introduce. Notice that 诸位 is more formal and polite than 你们大家. 位子 is the proper expression for one's seat, 请给我们留5个位置。Please reserve or keep 5 seats for us. 妈要坐挨着走道的位置。Mom wants an aisle seat. Remember that first tone. 挨着 means next to. 对不起，你好像坐在我位子上了。Excuse me, but you seem to be sitting in my seat. 不好意思，请问这些位子可以坐吗？ Sorry to bother you, but are these seats free? 请回到你的位子上，等一下再问。Please return to your seat and ask again later. That sounds like a teacher speaking. 他为什么不跟我们坐一起？这里有位子。Why doesn't he sit with us? There are seats here. 请餐厅的招待员再加个位子吧。Ask the restaurant receptionist to add another seat. 我想约今天7点半2个人的位子。I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people today at 7:30. 你不知道他努力多久才爬上这个位子。You have no idea how long it took her to reach that position, that spot on the corporate ladder. 座位 is a more specific phrase for a seat or seating in general. 请给林婆婆挪一个座位来。Please get a chair for Mrs. Lin. Literally, bring her a seat. 那里有个4人的座位，你想要吗？ There's seating for 4 persons over there. Would you like that? 我们必须早一点到，餐厅里的座位有限。We have to arrive early. Seating in the restaurant is limited. We know that the character 就 means to go near, go up to something. So, 就位 would translate as to take one's position or take one's designated seat. 大家都就位. Everyone get in position. The curtain is about to rise or a performance is about to begin. 机枪手都已就定位了. The machine gunners have already taken their positions. 请大家立刻就位吧。我们要拍个合照。Please take your places. We're going to take a group photo. A parking space for one's car would naturally be 停车位。这个餐厅有8个停车位。This restaurant has parking for 8 cars. 他为了使我生气而抢我的停车位。He stole my parking spot just to annoy me. 请把你的车从我的停车位开走。Please move your car out of my parking space. 在那里找到停车位的可能性有多大？ What are the chances of finding a parking space there? 我花了半天才找到了停车位，好累哦。It took a long time before I found a parking space. It's exhausting. 有的车子停在2个车位中间，你气不气？ Some cars are parked between 2 spaces. Isn't that infuriating? 地位 is a person's rank or standing in society. 对有地位的人来说，面子尤其重要。For those people of prominent status, their reputation is of especial importance. 大财主的小太太别想得到合法的地位。A rich man's mistress has no hope of gaining legal status. 在他心目中， 你不可能超越知心朋友的地位。In his mind, you'll never be more than a close friend. Literally, you'll never exceed the standing of a close friend. 地位 is not restricted to people, but can refer to a hierarchy and where things might appear within it. 道德在他的生活中没有地位。Morality has no place in his life. 手机的地位在日常生活中越来越重要。The role of mobile phones in daily life is becoming ever more important. Since 首 means the head or the first, 首位 would indicate something is in the top position. 我们把首位的贸易对象给予中国。Our number one trading partner is China. 他是华人贸易机构首位的创业者。She is the first entrepreneur in a Chinese trade organization. 她已成为联合国主要机构的首位中国首脑。She's become the first Chinese head of a major United Nations agency. Our final expression using this character is 品位, which originally referred to one's official, rank, or status, but has expanded over time to include one's ability to appreciate luxury, anything high class and indicative of one's impeccable taste. The meaning of 品, you'll recall from lesson 45, also includes the connotation of appraisal, being able to discern the quality of fine tea, wine, and other foods. High-level officials tend to belong to the upper class and are thus able to afford the trappings of their station, including expensive and tasteful luxury items. 他过着锦衣玉食、高品位的生活。She lives a high-class life with elegant clothes and fine food. 她的生活品味跟你比差太多了。Her standards of taste are vastly different from yours. 这家餐厅很有品味，生意也很好。This classy restaurant does a good business. 你可以相信他的衣着品味没有问题。You can be confident that his taste in clothing is fine. 你妈妈的毛衣真好看，她的品味一向如此。Your mother's sweater looks really nice. She's always had such good taste. Before going further, we should have a quick review of 沾 from way back in lesson 15, because that serves as the phonetic in today's second character. This new character combines 力 with 沾 to create fourth tone 站, originally meaning to stand for a long period of time. It's a more conversational way than 立 to say someone is in a standing position. 我都站了一天了. I've been standing all day. 别拿椅子，就站着看吧。Don't get chairs, just stand and watch. 若没有座位的话，我们当然会站着。If there are no seats, of course we'll stand. To say stand up from a sitting or lying position is 站起来。爸爸很吃力地站了起来。Dad stood up with great difficulty. 过了一会儿，他站起来走了。 After a while, he stood up and left. 他们两个一言不合，其他人就站起来走了。When the two of them began to quarrel, the others got up and left. 这个国家有一天会站起来的。This country will rise up one day. This next phrase emphasizes the idea of standing upright by pairing 站 with 立，站立 stressing the meaning of standing as opposed to sitting, lying down, or possibly even collapsing. 二叔的腰动过手术，他无法站立。My uncle had surgery on his back and cannot stand up. 在公车上站立时，请握着扶手。When standing on the bus, hold onto the handrails. You're standing as opposed to everybody else sitting on the bus. 工作了13小时之后，我累得无法站立。After working 13 hours, I was too tired to stand up. It was all I could do not to collapse from exhaustion. 我们中国人从此站立起来了。From that moment on, we Chinese stood up. This is a political statement, as is this next sentence. 联合起来，我们就能站立，不然我们必定倒下。We can stand united, otherwise we must fall. A place or space to stand is 站位。等车的人特别多，连站位也没有。So many people are waiting for the bus that there's not even standing room. When it's necessary to tell someone to stand back or stand clear, 站开 is probably the right phrase. 你能站开一点吗？ Could you stand a little further away? From its original meaning of standing for a long time. As a noun, 站 can refer to a train station, bus stop, or service center, such as a gas station. The combination 火车站 obviously means a train station, but it's usually reduced to just two characters, 车站。车站连一个人影也没有。There wasn't a soul to be found at the train station. 请问，这班公车会开车到火车站吗？ Excuse me, but does this bus go to the train station? 有半小时的光景给我们坐车到火车站。We've got half an hour to get to the train station by bus. 下一站 is the way to translate the next bus or the next train stop. 上一站 would of course be the previous stop. 我在下一站下车。I get off at the next stop. 我们再过下一站就到了。One stop after this next one, and we're there. 我想我的下一站会是在其他国家。I think my next stop will be in some other country. This is obviously a traveler speaking about his personal itinerary. Now we come to the only character in this lesson unrelated to 立. First, however, we need to review 及 from lesson 32, because it enters into our new character as the phonetic. 及, you'll recall, is a hand reaching for and seizing a fleeing person, meaning to reach or come up to. This includes the idea of seizing the moment, doing something just in the nick of time, 及时. It can also mean and or as well as, 以及 literally up to and seizing something else. Today's new character originally depicted a mountain, 山, above 极, to describe a lofty mountain peak, literally reaching great heights. Later, this character split into two versions. One retaining the mountain on top for a lofty and dangerous mountain peak, pronounced first tone 鸡, and a second version with the earth radical 土, pronounced fourth tone 色, or also first tone 鸡. By swapping out the mountain for the earth radical, the meaning changed from a mountain reaching great heights to earth reaching great heights, otherwise called a big pile of dirt. We'll talk about the lofty mountain peak, 鸡, in a future lesson. Today we're concerned only with the earth radical plus phonetic, meaning a pile of dirt, because it's only found in combination with our next character, the one character in today's lesson that does not take 力 as its phonetic element. It's 力 with the earth radical 土 on the left. Pronounced fourth tone 乐, or first tone 拉. It means human or animal waste. This character never stands alone, but always pairs with 色 to create 垃圾, or 垃圾, the term for trash or garbage. 垃圾 is the standard pronunciation in Taiwan, 垃圾 the standard in China, but either way, the meaning does not change. 家户垃圾 household garbage. 工业垃圾 industrial waste. 人行道上不常看得到垃圾 Trash is not often seen on the sidewalks. 他把我的早点当垃圾给丢了 He mistook my breakfast for garbage and threw it out. 在森林中野餐之后一定要把垃圾埋起来 After a picnic in the forest, be sure to bury any trash. A trash bin or garbage can would then be 垃圾桶 and a garbage truck would be 垃圾车 街上的垃圾桶都没有了 There are no longer any trash bins on the streets. 我把那桶垃圾倒入垃圾车 I dumped that bucket of trash into the garbage truck. 乞丐常常会在垃圾桶里找东西吃 Beggars often look for food in garbage cans. 小朋友从门里好奇地看着垃圾车 Children were in the doorway, curiously watching the garbage truck. 街上有一桶桶的垃圾在等待垃圾车 Lining the streets were trash bins waiting for the garbage truck. When talking about junk food, the usual term in Chinese is 垃圾食品. And if you want to mention that it's ultra-processed, just add the phrase 超加工. 我们最好少吃这些超加工的垃圾食品 We'd be better off eating less of these ultra-processed junk foods. 国人吃太多垃圾食品，超重的人也越来越多。 Chinese people eat too much junk food, and more people are overweight. 我儿子通常会买很多垃圾食品来大吃特吃。My son usually buys a lot of junk food and scoffs it all down. Notice the expression 大特 to express the idea of doing something to an extreme degree. Another example would be 毕业后我要出国大玩特玩。After graduation, I'm going abroad and having a grand time. Here's our color chart with today's 4 characters. 为占乐 or 拉色 or 鸡。Here's a summary of today's lesson. 1. Of the 4 characters in this installment, only one takes the depiction of a person standing on the ground as its phonetic element. The character 乐 in the phrase 垃圾 or 垃圾. 2 others incorporate 力 as their semantic element only, 为 and 占. 2. The character 为 is simply a spin-off of the original 力 to indicate the position, rank, or location of someone or something. Another important usage of 为 is as a polite measure word for people. 3. Regarding the phrase 品味, I'm fully aware that it was originally restricted to one's official rank or status. However, after checking everyday usage by Mandarin speakers and writers on the internet, it's obvious that this phrase has expanded to include one's appreciation of luxury and having fine taste in clothing, lifestyle, or decoration, resulting from a confusion with another phrase pronounced exactly the same, 品味, but with one character difference. Other dialects, such as Cantonese, make a clear distinction in the pronunciation of those 2 phrases. Mandarin does not, hence the confusion. 4. The character 占 is more often used in conversation than 力, especially when referring to a person standing on 2 feet, or as a noun for a train, bus, or service station. As we saw in the previous lesson, 力, depending on the characters paired with it, can include not only standing on your feet, but more figurative uses, such as setting up or establishing a business, erecting a monument, making laws, etc. 占 is much more limited in scope. 5. The one character unrelated to 力 in this lesson was 色. It was introduced because of the set phrase 乐色. 2 characters never used apart one from the other, but incorporated into the everyday expression for trash, junk, or garbage. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.